What's going on, everybody? And in this week's video, Metallica is back again with the new single Lux Eterna, and once again, they are showing us why Metallica is a great gateway into metal guitar, and some of the basic techniques that you need to get going in that style. If you've ever sat down to play guitar and you've dropped your pick only to never find it again, lost in another dimension, then click that subscribe button because we're about to jump in. All right, we are in standard tuning. Down in the description below, you can find the links for the tabs, and we're not going to deep dive into this song and learn every single aspect of it, but I want to talk about some of the techniques and why this is a fun song to kind of learn and a perfect gateway right into the metal technique, and why Metallica is essentially Metal 101, right? This is not a 7-minute riff masterpiece. This is a 3-minute, vintage thrash kind of just fun song. It feels like you're going to throw it in their set and it'll just be a good time. Right? It'll just be fun and a good time. And this is definitely a throwback to the kill 'em all, hit the lights, whiplash kind of vibe. So let's talk about some of the things that you help those beginner, intermediate guitar players understand the style, the key, and some of the techniques, right? So let's just talk about key. We're in the key of A, and let's just look at that first riff. You have this. You have that riff, and if we look at the key of A, right, we have our open 5th string, 7th fret of the D string. It's our octave, and let's just pentatonic, right? Right, very much in Metallica's kind of flavoring and spice. You'll hear that stuff all the time. So we have. And that's essentially your A blues scale, or A minor pentatonic with the blue note. Right? So having that melodically on your fingertips is really good, because you're going to see that kind of phrasing in their riffs and in their solos as well, albeit probably in a different key. Right? So we have up the scale. Let's continue down the scale, 7/5, 7/5. Right, and now we're going to combine a little A minor. So we have open power chord, O and 2, power chord on 2, power chord on 3, power chord on 4, and that's essentially the first couple notes of the minor scale. You can go up to 7 and get the 5th, and then comparing that to the A minor blues, that note, 5th string. And that's why so many classic riffs have that 0, 3, 5, 6 smoke on the water thing going on, because if you play the minor blues scale from open position, that's what you get, right? 0, 3, 5 goodness, right? So that whole riff starts out there. And then you have your chugs. And the chords you're playing are these 7, 7, 8, 8 double stops right here, right? D and G string. And again, smoke in the water, right? And those are really just power chords. Here on 5 and 6, right? They're just not playing the root note, and they're getting that cut through kind of sound when you play it like that. And that's the style of this riff. Right? So that kind of stuff is important to know as you delve into this style, right? If we look at the verse riff, you have this riff right here. Right? And again, that's just using the scale. And really, if you look at the chord progression, it's really A and G. right? Except he's using the scale, which we looked at before, 0, 2, 3, 5. He's using the scale to step back and forth between those two chords, right? So here it's going 3, 5, 3, or C, D, C. Then going to G, and stepping down, C, B. Right, going down the scale to A, right? So you can get a kind of feeling like why he's choosing to write the riffs he's using, because the notes in the scale take you a certain direction. So let's talk about really quickly about the alternate picking there. And this is the common pattern where you have an eighth note into 16th notes the rest of the measure. Right, so if you're not used to alternate picking 16th notes, palm muting, this is a great riff and a great rhythm to learn, okay? So you basically have 8th note to 16th notes, one enda on the upbeat, right? And you're gonna wanna down pick the 8th note and then the start of the 16th notes. And then once you get through that, it's all alternate picking. Like that. Okay? And then the 16th notes are just groups of 4 on one beat. Okay? And that's the rhythm you're going to find through a lot of this song, including the verse and the little pre-chorus right there. Right there, right? He plays F and E, right? So from a songwriting perspective, the little pre-chorus, you get tension because you've now step kind of thing, right? But if you ever play a minor blues like B.B. King's Thrill Is Gone, the turnaround, the last 4 measures of a 12-bar blues, in the minor blues goes from the 6th chord to the 5 chord. And that's exactly what happens here. The F chord in A minor. So essentially you're getting a blues progression turnaround. And again, you're just putting that rhythm in. And then you have that little thing right there, right? D to E hammer on. Again, a very common rhythm technique you see on the guitar. You pick a note, and the 12 in this case, D to E. And then you pick out 2 more notes for the 16th note. And you're back into that, right? What else about this song? The intro riff has that those slides. Right? And for the beginners out there, sliding backwards is always difficult. Just look at the Master of Puppets. Right? That slide backwards always gives a hard time. He might be down picking that. Typical Hetfield, right? But you can alternate pick. If you need to. And then I'm not really going to talk about the solo, not too much, you know, we're kind of past that point. But it is in E minor. The song switches to E minor at that point, and he uses good old E minor pentatonic, which is every Kirk Hammett solo ever. You have this slur lick, 17, 15, 12. This rhythm. He's tremolo picking that. All right, and then quick 15, 14. Not really paying attention to the rhythm here. It's just a subdivision, a quick flurry of notes into pentatonic land. Right, and that's the idea with that rhythm, bend, then 2 notes. You'll hear Kirk Hammett do that a lot. Yeah, and that's the song. It's just a fun, 3-minute thrasher, old school Kill 'Em All vibes, right? Great gateway into metal, great gateway into metal technique and some alternate picking practice, right? So Was there a Metallica song that got you into metal, right? For me, it was probably Seek and Destroy in the Wayback Machine, but whatever. Let me know down in the comments below. You can find the link for the tabs down in the comments below. And as always, let me know what you come up with. So until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.